This is Support is Sexy, episode 140. Do it afraid. Welcome to Support is Sexy. I'm your host, Elayne Fluker, entrepreneur, author, and founder of Chic Rebellion Media. 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, I interview inspiring women entrepreneurs who share their wins and their lessons to help you take your business and your life to the next level and create something sexy. Here we go. Hi everyone, welcome to a new episode of Support is Sexy. Happy Friday. I'm so happy to have you here. You know it just would not be the same without you. And today I want to talk to you about doing it afraid. And it could be anything that you are afraid to do that would be of service to yourself. So if that's a new position, if that's starting a new business, if that's talking to this guy or girl that you're interested in, whatever it is, I want to talk about choosing to not let fear stop you and doing it afraid. Now, we're not talking about the kind of fear that keeps us safe from harm. So jumping off a bridge, jumping in front of a train. No, you don't want to do that afraid. I think you all know that. What I'm talking about is the kind of fear that comes from the ego, which is trying to protect us and keep us safe. But usually it's safe from things that won't kill us. It's things that will embarrass us or things that might make us feel like we failed in some way. Anything that will attack or damage or harm the ego wants to protect us from those things. So it makes us afraid, or it makes us give into the fear, or actually it makes us give into the stories that we come up with based on the fear. And the fear is not real. It's all in our head. It's all about the stories that we've created of things that we think will happen that usually never happen. But so much is to be gained by doing it afraid, especially, again, when it's something that will be in service to you and that will likely help you be in service to others in some way, because you're people who are about creating something sexy. You're up to something, but you know what? You might be letting one little thing, one little story, one little fear hold you back from being as great as you need to be. Now, why am I talking about this? Well, because I am about to do something afraid. And actually, as I said, there's no reason for me to be afraid of this thing. It certainly won't kill me. Maybe it'll be embarrassing. Maybe I might fail at it. I don't know. Or maybe not. Maybe it'll be great. I have a friend who always says, whenever you say, what if this goes wrong? And you have to think, well, what if it goes right? Or what if this fails? What if it succeeds? We rarely think about the good part of it, right? The possibilities of what could happen if all goes well. So the thing that I am doing afraid, launching a fundraising campaign for the podcast, is something that I have thought about for a long time. And then when I did the interview, episode 98, make sure you go back and listen to it. I did an interview with Karen Khan, wonderful woman, truly love her. She is the founder of a platform called ifundwomen.com. So that's the letter I, fundwomen.com, which is the only crowdfunding platform exclusively for women. So it's a lot of great projects on there, and I'm so excited to join them on ifundwomen.com when my campaign officially launches on Monday. But I'm telling you all about it first because, you know, you're my boo, so I want you all to know about it first. But this is the thing that I'm doing afraid. So with all that said, I wanted to talk to you all about deciding that this is the year 2017, that you're not going to let fear stop you from doing things that you want to do, need to do, aspire to do. You're going to do it afraid. And I want to share with you a few tools that I use for doing it afraid and what I plan to use moving forward with this, going through this campaign, which will be over the next 50 days, and also with anything else that I face as the year continues. So the first thing, it might sound simple, make a decision. What is the thing that you want to do? What do you want to create? What has been on your mind for weeks, months, years? What have you been stalling doing, coming up with excuses, procrastinating, and finding every other thing to do but that thing? And when you're really honest with yourself, it is because you are afraid. So you don't want to do that thing, and you will come up with plenty of reasons. You know, one of the best excuses that we all use, myself included, I'm going to wait until fill in the blank. which is really, I'm trying to wait until I'm not as scared as I am right now to do this thing. Most of the times that's the case. Because ready, what is ready? Depending on what it is, you most likely don't have to get ready, or you get ready to a point and then you just have to do it. And there's learning in the process, as I always say. There's learning in the process, because you could wait forever to get ready to execute an idea. Make a decision. This is the thing that I want to do. This is the thing that I'm going to do. And I'm going to do it even if I am afraid. In fact, I always love to do this. Right now, wherever you are, at the office, on the street, at the gym, at home, doing dishes, wherever you are, say right now, what is that thing that you really want to do? What is that thing that you are going to do? If you made a decision today, all right, enough is enough. I'm going to make this happen. What is that thing? Say it out loud. Did you say it? Loud? Like, could you hear yourself actually say it? Not scream it, but say it. Sometimes we need to say, what is that thing that we really want to do? For me, I made a decision that I wanted to get support for Support is Sexy. It's time for me to walk the talk. I need support. Help me keep producing the podcast at the pace that I'm doing it. I absolutely love what I'm doing, but doing it on my own is not only stressful, it limits the amount of value, it limits the growth, it limits so many things. So I wanted to figure out how to get help for the podcast, how to get support for the podcast. Whatever was holding me back, there was a fear of reaching out or not knowing what to ask for, and all of these other excuses and reasons I came up with. When I talked to Karen during the episode, and then really after the episode, she confronted me with, what do you need? What kind of support do you need? How can I support you? And I fumbled. I've talked about that in previous episodes. I fumbled through that, not having that answer. I got clear what my answer was. I need support. So I made a decision that I was going to do a crowdfunding campaign with I Fund Women. That was the first step, saying aloud, this is what I'm doing. So if you did not do that just now, do it today. Say aloud the thing that you're going to go after. Okay, that's step one. The next thing. Now, as we said, you don't have to wait forever to get quote unquote ready, but I do suggest you do your research for a limited amount of time. Don't go researching for 5 or 10 years on something. You can do a quick Google search, or you can ask some people who have already done it, but do your research. The reason I say this is because you can learn from other people's mistakes or missteps or failures or whatever it is, doing the research, and you can also find out what works best for you, because even if someone else did something a certain way and they were successful, you might say, oh, I don't know if that works for me, but hey, I can do this, or it'll give you another idea of how to approach things. So do your research and see what's out there. Whatever you want to do, it doesn't matter. Do some research around it. This will give you also some confidence and some other resources in your toolbox to help you move forward and do it afraid. All right, another thing, get support around your vision from people who can help. So not just asking your friend or your boyfriend or your girlfriend or whatever that is. Yes, they can support you certainly, but go to people who have, as I said, done it before, or like me, going to Karen, who has created an entire platform around fundraising and really supports women throughout the process. I'll have to tell you guys about that. It's been incredible working with Karen and Kate and all of the women at ifundwomen.com who help you with everything from doing your video and posting your rewards and getting your copy together, everything. They're so supportive and helpful, which unlike other platforms, even though they're great as well, that support in that way is not there. So I leaned on them and got support from them around this vision because they are experts in this category. I also talked to my friend Cheryl Gentry, who is episode 11, one of our very early supporters. But Cheryl did a successful Kickstarter campaign, and she gave me a lot of tips on what she did, what she learned throughout that process. So she is someone else that I tapped into to get help and support around my vision. So make sure you do that. Think of people, and look, this might be people that you don't already know. Maybe it's some people you can reach out to on Twitter or other social media, or people that you can email and say, hey, this is what I'm doing. I really admire your work. Is there any time in your schedule for me to ask you a few questions, or can you just respond to this email and let me know, fill in the blank? You can reach out to people who can help you in a lot of ways. Another thing is, though, when you reach out, be clear on how people can help you. What is the Jerry Maguire line that Tom Cruise says? Help me help you. When people reach out to me for mentoring or asking questions or quote unquote, pick your brain. Yeah, that's wonderful. But what is it? What is the thing? Make it as easy as possible for me to help you. Everyone's time is limited. I'm not saying I don't have time for people, but it makes it easier for me and better for you if you say exactly how someone can help you. Now, that might expand during a conversation. Other things will come up, or the person will see how enthused you are about the thing that you're trying to create, and they might offer some additional help. But have an idea when you speak to them what they can do for you or how they may help you. Actually, I'll give you another example. I just reached out to someone I heard on a podcast, the Entrepreneur on Fire podcast. Great guy who did an interview. I reached out to him and said, thank you so much for the interview. I learned so much and I was glad to hear some of the things that I'm already doing right, etc. It was very short and brief. He responded. Now, I wasn't asking for anything, but I did a very clear outreach, wanted to say thank you for your work and your advice and your insight. He wrote back, and since then, me and this gentleman have been corresponding about business and getting together and pick your brain about women entrepreneurs, and I'll talk to him about his company, which is, I believe it's worth $100 million. So there's a lot of ways that you can reach out to people that you don't know, be genuine, and say either what you're offering or you're just praising them for what they've done, or be clear about how people can help you. Another thing for doing it afraid. And I had to do this for myself. Set a deadline. Give yourself, or a lifeline, give yourself a date, literally a date, even a time if you need to, of when you're going to make this thing happen. Otherwise, what happens. It'll go on forever and ever, and you just will always come up with an excuse of why it couldn't happen. So with this campaign, at first I was going to do it before the holiday, but then I had a discussion with Karen and Kate about it and thought it's going to be very busy during that time. And a lot of the people that I wanted to reach out to were already on vacation for 3 weeks by the time December started. And all these fabulous people that I know, they go on vacation the whole month of December. So anyway, I felt like all of them were going to be gone. And then the first week, people are kind of getting readjusted. So I'm going to launch next week on Monday, January 16th. I can't wait to tell you guys more about the campaign and what I'm doing and what I'm offering. The rewards are fantastic, but I wanted to wait until I felt like people were back and in the groove of the year before reaching out. But I set a deadline for myself I set several along the way of when I needed things completed. So the video that goes with the campaign and the copy that I did and the rewards. And even if it wasn't a date that I shared with Karen and Kate, it was something I gave myself. So I put on my phone, this has to get done. This is what I'm doing today. Even if it's midnight, 2 a.m, whatever, I have to get this done and turn this into them. So set a time, a specific time, date for yourself, and then stay committed to it. Nothing's worse than breaking a commitment to yourself, which we all do way too often. Don't be a person that breaks commitments, especially commitments to yourself. Another thing about doing it afraid, you can always change along the way. It's not set in stone. Whatever you're trying, you want to try and tweak and try and tweak. That is how it goes with me doing the podcast overall. Oh my goodness. I can't even tell you the amount of tweaks that I've made along the way. And it still definitely ain't perfect. And it probably never will be. And that's okay. But I will try and tweak and try and tweak. Continue to go. Continue to master it. I want to be a master at this. Believe in mastery. So I'm going to make sure that I do the best I can, but I'll know that I can continue to tweak along the way. And it's not tweak something wrong. It might be tweak because you've learned some new information or you've discovered through your research some other things that you can do to make it better. Try it, tweak it, try it, tweak it. What you don't want to do is just stand still. That way you're not creating anything, you're not doing anything. No one can come help you because you're not moving at all. Whereas if you are in the process, learning in the process, creating things and tweaking as you go, you will pick up momentum, something we talked about last Friday. You will pick up momentum, things will move along, and you will see the resource and all the things you need start to come to you. Be in motion. Try and tweak. Try and tweak. And the last thing I'll say about doing it afraid is you don't fail. You learn. So whatever happens for me with this campaign, even if I raise $2, and that's it, even though my goal is $20,000. So I hope I raise more than $2. But whatever it is, I will learn. I will look at what went wrong, if this failed, or if this went wrong, or people didn't respond, or people didn't like the rewards, or I'm trying and tweaking, so I continue to tweak along the way. But whatever happens, I will learn from this, and I will be able to say, for the next time, this is how I'm going to do it next time. What I have to push aside is ego, fear of being quote unquote embarrassed or rejected, or any of the things that I make up in my head, the kind of story that I believe will happen, which most likely will not happen. Make up the story, push that to the side, get over that, say thank you to the ego for trying to protect me. I'm okay. I will live through this, and I will learn no matter what happens. It's been such a benefit to me to go through this process. Now I know what it's like. Now I'm going through the third phase of it and doing the actual campaign. I did all the things I needed to set it up, shot the video myself in the yard, and I did a whole episode about that whole experience too. But the thing is, I learned along the way. So this is fantastic. I'm doing it afraid. I've already won, as they say. I've already won. I've already accomplished a lot just by doing this thing afraid and learning as I go. So thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for playing along. I want you to say today, though, if you didn't already, say aloud what you're going to do this year afraid. Not even this year. What are you going to do before the end of January that you're afraid to do today, but you are going to make happen by that date? January 31st, 2017. In fact, you can tell me, tweet me at Elayne Fluker or at Support is Sexy. Let me know what you're doing. You know you can email me, Elayne at elaynefluker.com. And because, as I said, you guys are my boos, and I want to tell you what's going on first, go to supportissexylove.com. So support is sexy, LOVE.com, and check out the campaign a little bit early. It's officially launching on Monday, or I should say officially, I'm spreading it to the world on Monday, but I would love for you guys to go check it out. Snap up some of those rewards early. I have a great one in there about doing a podcast episode with me. I have another one in there if you want to do your own podcast, and you can chat with me, and I'll give you some resources and all this great stuff around doing your own podcast. There's a lot of great things in there that at least I think are a lot of fun, and I hope you do too. So please go check it out. Donate if you can. I would appreciate any amount. $2 is wonderful. 20 is even better, but do whatever you can to support. And that also includes sharing. So if you tweet supportissexylove.com, that would help me as well. I want to spread the message to as many people as possible. As I said, my official outreach is going to be on Monday, but I did want to share it with you all because you know what? This is all about you, really. It's not even about me. I love what I'm doing, but it's really been fantastic to hear from you all, whether it's on social media or you email me a message and let me know how a particular episode moved you or a particular guest or something else that I've done, like the audio trainings, all of the things that you guys respond to and let me know what you think and how it's moved you. This is all for you. I am doing this campaign in order to raise money for production of the podcast because I need some help there, to raise money for marketing. So social media is a huge thing, and right now I am managing Twitter and Facebook and Instagram and all of these things by myself. I really want to do Pinterest, but I literally cannot add on one other thing. I could add it on, but I won't be able to do it well. And it's important for me to do it well. So I'm focused on those three right now. But if I were to bring in a social media manager or a social media coordinator, that would be so helpful, not only to me, but to the podcast and getting information out to you all. And I will still be there to respond to things personally, but scheduling things and all the things that go into doing fantastic social media. I've been fortunate that the content I have posted resonates with you all, but I really want to up my game. That's what it is. Up my game. And I can do that by having some support. And with production, a lot goes into producing each episode, the editing, booking the guests, all of that stuff. So in production, not only the editing, booking guests is a big part of it too, obviously. And I have a wonderful woman I'm working with named Sky. She is fantastic, but I want to be able to take care of her in the same way that she's taking care of me and all of the guests that we're getting on the show. We're going for some celebrities and well-known people who are still in the business space. So it takes a lot more outreach and that kind of thing and a lot of back and forth. She has been taking care of that for me. I need to take care of her. And the thing is, with all of the people that I want to hire, of course, they're all women entrepreneurs too. So that is very important to me. Support is sexy, and supporting women entrepreneurs is even sexier. So with the money I'm raising, $20,000, I intend to hire women entrepreneurs, other women entrepreneurs, to work with my company to produce the podcast. So that's my story. I'm doing it afraid. I am actually giddy and excited about it. That's the thing, too, about doing it afraid. You get to a point where maybe you're still scared, but there's some other feelings in there, too, and you can embrace those as well. So I'm embracing my giddiness. So happy about it. So again, one more time, go to supportissexylove.com. So that's supportissexylove.com. Check out the campaign. Donate, please, if you can. Share the information if you can. Post it on your social media. The more I can share this message, the better. So I would really appreciate from you all because, again, it's for you. You're the reason that the podcast is as successful as it is, and it continues to grow. We're at 33,000 downloads, and we're reaching listeners in 73 countries. So it has been amazing. And the goal is to continue to grow and reach as many women entrepreneurs, creatives, and leaders as possible. But to do that, I need your help as I do this afraid. So thank you all so much for listening. If you're listening in real time, have an incredible weekend. I can't wait to talk to you on Monday. And now you know what to do. Go out there and create something sexy. Visit supportissexylove.com and I will talk to you soon. Take care.